Oh, I feel like the light is weird on this. Maybe a little weird. Hi, I'm Sarah, and oh, my hair's wild today. This is a place for people who are questioning their faith or deconstructing their faith and just kind of want to find each other in the same place and chat, connect. So if you're watching this back on the replay, I just basically read the comments. And so I know there's a setting where you can see the comments that roll up. So that'll make it, hi buddy, much more interesting if you put the comments in. So yeah, just a little bit about me. I grew up, oh, hey Chip, good to see you. Hope it's going well. Happy Thursday. Yes, it's Thursday. I always have to check. I have a new puppy with me today, just for, this is not my puppy at all, but, hey, buddy, wanna say hi? Look at you, your little Muppet face. Such a cutie pie. Hi, Max. Hey, Walt. Hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. Hi, Absurdist. Hi, honey. I see you. He's a very sweet boy. Yeah. Hi, hi. Yeah, so not my puppy, just I'm taking care of this guy for a day or two. Oh, what is that in your fur, bud? Oh, there you go. That's better. You want to say hi? Are you allowed up here? I don't know if you're allowed up here. You can come over here. Want to say hi to the friends? He's such a happy guy. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Yes, different venue. Yeah, I'm taking care of a friend's dog. Hi, Dr. Joe. You're gonna have to just sit there, bud. I know. Oh, okay, we're coming up. You wanna say hi? Hi. Hey, Em. This is Chesney. He says hello. Oh, thank you. He's really a cutie pie. I know. Yeah, he's like a Muppet. It's really cute. Well, greetings from Puerto Rico. Yes, definitely a Labradoodle. Ruby's still at my place, so I'm going back and forth. No, yours is in one of the moods. Oh no. Did you bring me your pizza? You want me to throw it? Okay. Ugh. This is his pizza. To anyone who's new, hi, welcome. I'm Sarah, and mostly we talk about leaving religion, but we also talk about puppies because, you know. Dave, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, give me your pizza. Okay. Dave says, question, what would you say is your method of avoiding having an overly negative reaction to pompous believers? I would say I usually use gentle parenting techniques, and and that seems to work pretty well. So that would be my go-to. Hi, Matthew. Hey, Michelle. Hi. Hey, Chris. Yeah, I'm dog sitting. So this is Chesney. You're just the happiest. You're the happiest guy. For jokes, not liturgy. Well, that's fair. Yeah. Deep breathing, yes. Dr. Joe says, I'm more of a sarcasm as a coping skill girl. Ironic given my profession. Indeed. Well, we made it to 5 minutes before we had to filter people. That's not too bad. Let's see. Hi, Joshua. Thanks for the super chat. Sure. I like yoga. Hi, Bluebird. Oh, wow. Christian went to Rio. That's awesome. Yeah, it might be a record. Yeah, my day was good. Thanks. I think he's finally settling down. Maybe. We'll see. I think he's still a puppy. Oh, a coonhound. That's cool. No. Don't make it weird, Joshua. Hi, White. Chris says, I have a real question. What church were you a member of? Several, honestly, throughout like the time I was a Christian, but I grew up in a Presbyterian church, and then I was part of a couple other Protestant churches. Hi, John. Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Chip says, I don't know much about Presbyterian churches. What are they like? So PCA versus PCUSA is really different. So I was PCA, which is pretty conservative. It's evangelical, sort of Calvinist, I think, kind of. I don't know if they hold to all of those things. Versus PCUSA is a lot more progressive and liberal. Thanks, Charles. Hi, Krista. Have I found Elvis Presley yet? Not here. There's like this, I guess it's a wine fridge behind me. It's making a weird sound. Ben's interpretation says, I'm finding it stressful to talk to some of my Christian friends. They are very worried about me. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, that puts you in such an uncomfortable position. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. I guess so. Blake, honey, you're not helping your cause at all here. My old pastor told me that faith and logic can't always coexist. Faith must defy logic because we're always looking for logic, we talk ourselves out of everything. Oh, that's such an interesting conclusion, that if we're using logic, we'll talk ourselves out of everything. You know, like you would think that if this religion is deeply really the truth, that the more logic you have, the more sense it would make, you know? Yeah, I don't blame you, Krista. Oh, well, hey, Mia. Do you have family members around you who still believe and who you care about? And if so, how do you navigate those relationships? Yeah, so most of my family is still religious. You know, I'm very lucky that I can still get along with my parents. You know, for as conservative as they are, they also really enjoy intellectual rigor, and so like we can have discussions that are healthy, and not angry, and that's really nice. And I know that's a rare thing to have. Oh, John, I'm sorry. Muhammad says religion and reason cannot reconcile. Well, I think it depends on what your religion is. Oh, yeah. The whole transubstantiation thing, you know, I grew up Protestant, so, Charles. Um, yeah, it was such a different experience. Everything was symbolic rather than literal. Although we took all the other things literally, so. Hello, Mr. Muppet. Hi. It might just be you, Andrew. That is interesting, John. Yeah, if you're Catholic, that is interesting what they would think about that. Hi, A. No, it's clicking. It's okay, buddy. Oh, nope, don't push that. Yikes. Hi from Wisconsin. Hello. Hey, Mage. W says, I think reason has a big part in why I believe what I believe. As to the bread and wine, I think Christ was talking about fellowship and sacrifice, nothing esoteric. Yeah, that makes more sense too. Yeah, exactly, Chip. What things are literal and what aren't. Ryan says, first time here, what do you still believe about Jesus, if any? So I think he probably was a person, but I don't think that all the quotes in the New Testament are accurate. They were written so far after he would have died. I can't imagine they would have been accurate quotes. So, you know, I think he probably was a person, though. So your belief is unbelief? No, I mean, I'm just not convinced that God is real. White says, as a 30-year-old man with a family of my own, do you think it's worth coming out as an atheist to my parents? I don't think it's worth rocking the boat, but I'm curious on your thoughts. Yeah, it's such a hard decision for so many of us, because you want to be authentic and truthful, and also you don't want to cause anyone any pain. I think it really depends. It depends on what you think their reaction is going to be. And I also think it really depends on how big of a role religion plays in your relationship. So, like for me, um, when I talked to my parents, we talked about God all the time. It was like a big part of our relationship. And so I couldn't really have gone on without telling them unless I just totally stepped away from our relationship. And so in my case, I really felt like it was the best thing to do to tell them. But, you know, if you're in a situation where talking about God isn't a big part of your relationship, or you know it'll cause huge, terrible disruption, like you may not want to, you know, I don't know what would be correct for you. Well, Ryan, the quotes weren't necessarily from his direct followers. And again, how well can you remember someone's quote 50 years later? Um, so most scholars don't agree that it was Jesus who said all those things. Oh, nice, dyslexia. Thanks, Petho. It's interesting. Chris says, I was taught that in order to receive the rite of confirmation into the Catholic Church, I had to accept that a miracle was taking place each Mass, facilitated by the priests. Yeah, so are you, like, if you are Catholic and are, you know, believe in transubstantiation, like, is it supposed to feel like, are you supposed to have the sensation of drinking blood? Like, if you believe a miracle is really taking place, like, do you believe that the tactile, like, actual substance is flesh and blood? Like, are you supposed to taste that? You tell me, which quotes are you denying he said? I don't know that he said any of them. Ryan, I'm saying we don't have a way to know. Ooh, tasted spiritually. Yeah, it's one of those things of like, what does that even mean? Indeed, White. That's so interesting. Misinterpretation says, I used to be Catholic. My understanding is that it doesn't change taste or texture, but it really is the body and blood. It's like then we're totally changing the definition of what something is, you know? Hi, Pope. I was Protestant. I was part of a couple different Protestant denominations. So, um, yeah, I just say Protestant. Yeah, Chris, like when you really think about it, is kind of a WTF moment. W says, so if I get any message out of the life of Christ, it comes down to that. When we break bread, we're getting to know each other better. When we sacrifice, we put that relationship to the test. I mean, yeah, that's a very metaphorical interpretation. Have I tried orthodoxy? I have not tried it, no. Hi, Rachel. Oh man, Pezzo, yeah, I'm sure that was intense. Ryan, the people who wrote the New Testament generally were not eyewitnesses to the things that they wrote about. And for many of them, we're not actually sure who really was the author. How much research have you done into the historicity of the New Testament? And not from just apologetic pastors, but like actual New Testament scholars? Oh, that's interesting. Krista says, my Pentecostal church did communion every now and then. Everyone would cry and it was always so awkward. Yeah, it's funny how like Protestant churches are so varied in how they do communion. My church did it once a month. Like, I don't know why they picked that, the church that I grew up in. And we went through a whole bunch of different stages of like what the physical communion was. But the one we stuck with, which was delightful, we would get this big loaf of King's Hawaiian bread. And so there'd be this beautiful loaf of bread that sat on like a gold plate. And then you'd have a cup of grape juice, because I guess we're Protestants, so we don't drink wine. I don't know. And so you would take like a big hunk of the Hawaiian bread and dip it in the juice. It was delicious. Yes, Moses, I have actually tried to talk to God. I believed that I was talking to God for almost 20 years. Hey, Spark. Spark says, our FBC church did communion quarterly. We had the communion cups with juice and tiny wafers. Yeah, we tried those too for a little while. The weird little tiny, like, Ryan, honey, before you get all hot and bothered and think that they were eyewitnesses, I want you to reread the book of Matthew and think, does it really make sense that he was an eyewitness to Jesus's birth, to Jesus's childhood, to times when Jesus was all by himself? He wasn't really an eyewitness. Oh, no, you did feet washing. That's interesting. We didn't do that. Mia says, in our country, church is the only place where you can serve alcohol legally to children. That's probably true in my country as well. Hi, Tony. Yes, Rachel, I do. It's a lot of weird buzzing in this house. Things turning on, I guess. Ryan, how old are you? KG, no, the writer of an autobiography does not. But if you want to count someone as an eyewitness is very different from writing an autobiography. Those are totally different concepts. And Ryan's making the case that these are eyewitness accounts. Moses, I have an FAQ playlist on my page, and that'll give you like my backstory and that kind of thing. Hi, Donnie. Thank you, Ryan. I hope you find some peace. You know what, Rachel? I actually have not seen Beetlejuice. Oh, yeah, there is another rapture date. It's coming up soon, couple days. Why do people die standing up for Jesus? The same reason, people died for Jim Jones, died for, Heaven's Gate. Do you miss anything about your former belief? Sure, yeah. I miss the community. I also miss the certainty. Man, I was so sure. I was so certain. I miss that. It felt nice. It felt nice to be so sure. Do I play video games? It's not my bag. I don't own any gaming system or anything. Yeah, although to be fair, Spark, I don't think people are taking this rapture date nearly as seriously as they were taking the other one. Moses, I already told you, you can go look at my FAQ playlist. Oh, Noah, that's wild. The metaphysical world. What does that even mean to you? Do you mean a spiritual world? Does Animal Crossing count? Bye, Matthew. Thanks for coming. My favorite channel is not about religion. To be honest, I don't watch a lot of YouTube. And like most of my social media stuff is either like religion stuff or like ultra running and trail running stuff. Oh, Chip, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Chip says the new rapture date is around my birthday. Being rid of all those preachy Christians would be a nice birthday present. Then we'd be left to the tribulation, though. Well, so KG, science does not disprove the metaphysical world. Science just doesn't have the tools to measure it. Oh man, I'm sorry, Krista. Yeah, I am into ultra running. Yeah, Rachel, the whole idea of believe or burn in hell is pretty gruesome. Bye, Miss. Good to see you. Oh man, 80%. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. Oops, sorry, Betty. I'm sorry. Mia says the biggest religion here in Finland is Lutheran. It's kind of Christianity light. You get a few nice stories from the Bible, weddings, and wine. Oh, most of them don't believe in God. It's just tradition. That's kind of nice though. Like you get the community and the rituals and traditions. That's nice. What is ultra running? It's races that are longer than a marathon. Typical distances would be like 50K, 50 miles, 100K, etc. So how have you tested the spiritual world? I can't. I have no way to empirically measure it. I don't, it does not seem to exist through my experiences. So the world seems purely physical. Rachel, I don't know anything about it. W says, I'll admit, even as a believer, I don't care for the preaching. We were called to live for others. I think that gets lost in the sauce for the sake of doctrine and semantics. Moses, this is your last time asking. I've answered you 3 times already now. Oh, I'm so sorry, Krista. So KG, I guess a different way to look at that is, why would I believe in a God? You know, like there are so many possibilities of things that could exist, but if I have no evidence that it exists, why would I believe it exists? You know? Hi. How are you, sweet baby? You want to come up? Oh, yeah, you do. Okay. Felix says, if you can't test if God is real, why would you believe in God? Yeah, I mean, I think it's totally reasonable to say, look, I can't know if you're real, so I don't believe you're real. Yes, 80%. I'm just dog sitting tonight, so this is not my dog. Yeah, so KG, then your experience, oh, don't, it's okay. Your experience is your evidence. And so it would make sense that people who don't have the same experience as you do wouldn't believe because they don't have the same evidence that you do. Yeah, no bunny treats tonight. Then you can't be confident he doesn't exist. No, KG, that's like saying, you know, if you've never had an experience, a metaphysical experience, you can't be sure the tooth fairy doesn't exist, right? Like, or anything. Like, if you haven't had a metaphysical experience, why would that be evidence that metaphysical things do exist? Oh, did you get your pizza? Let me see. Let me see. I'll throw it for you. Oh, okay, here we go. What do you believe after death? I don't think anything happens after death, honestly. Hi, Leah. Correct, KG. That's why I say I'm an agnostic atheist. Oh, can I have it? Can I have it? Let me see. Well, you gotta bring it to me. Give me the pizza. Give me the pizza. Oh. What do you think of people having near-death experiences? So, I mean, I think people really experience those things. Like, I don't think that they're lying or making them up. But we don't have any indication that, like, they're actually traveling anywhere, you know? Like, all of that can be explained physiologically. So I would not describe the chair as believing in it. I would say I have a preponderance of evidence that the chair exists. Oh, whatever it was, I missed it, so that's good. Yeah, the other thing about NDEs is that they're contradictory, you know? So, like, why would we believe one over another? God is my strength says, do you ever worry about that? That if you do for and come before God and he send you to hell. So that would be a really evil God. Like, if God created me and designed me, knew what my whole life was going to be, sat there and watched me try to believe, heard me say, God, please help me believe when I prayed to him, didn't help me believe, and then knowing, even though that I tried my best to believe and just couldn't, then sends me to eternal torment for not believing. I mean, that's probably one of the cruelest things I could imagine. Give me the pizza. Give me the pizza. Oh, thanks, Dyslexia. I appreciate that. Hey, Sebastian. But you don't check that it will, you believe it will. So, Leah, I think it's very different if I have repeated confirmation evidence, testable evidence over and over again, is so different from something I have no evidence of. Like, I can physically see the chair and touch it, and every single time I have sat in a chair my entire life, it has held me up. That's so different from a belief in God that I cannot see or touch or talk to. It's just totally different. Okay. Grace says, I don't understand why so many believers try to make people believe. Like, it's called believing, you can't force it. So many Christians do think that belief is a choice. Which, you know, is sort of a way that they can pat themselves on the back for making the correct choice. So KG says you can test evidence after the fact, for example, if he does something consistent with his word for you. So there are so many times God does not come through on his word, you know. And I know how it all gets justified, but like Jesus said, you know, you ask for anything in my name and I will do it. He also said, you know, look at how I take care of the birds of the air. How much more will the Father take care of you? But those things don't happen. People die of starvation. People beg God for help and he does not come through for them. So if you want to say like, okay, test it against the word, then God fails the test. How do you feel about church doctrine of confession? Is that parallel to any empirically proven therapeutic methods? Well, Dr. Joe would know more about empirical evidence on therapeutic psychology. I imagine it could potentially be therapeutic, although, you know, it's interesting in that my understanding of confession, it's about you and God and getting absolution there, but less about actually going and making amends to the people you hurt. I don't know though. I've never done confession. Yeah, so here's an example of someone saying that we're choosing what we believe, but we don't choose it. Hikari says, I get that being sent to hell seems cruel, but I think that's ignoring that we as people have free will. We choose not to believe. I'm sorry, that's not the case. I wanted to believe. If it was my choice, I would have believed. I was just truly unable to. Dr. Joe says therapeutic methods includes evidence-based interventions, which is beyond confession or venting or talking. Yeah, I mean, certainly, I don't think anyone would say that confession is equal to therapy. I didn't know if there was any evidence for any benefit of it. Yeah, W says, all I know is rectifying wrongs with people I've wronged or been wronged by is the most tangible form of healing I've come across. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, and W, you may have seen this other places. The first person I heard this from was Rachel Klinger Kane, that the idea of like vertical morality versus horizontal morality. But, you know, if your morality is based on obedience to God, when you cause harm, you apologize to God. Versus when you have a secular morality that is based on how you treat others, then when you cause harm, you go apologize to the person that you've harmed. And I agree, I think it works a lot better. Sorry, was I not throwing the pizza enough? There you go. Well, bring it all the way to me. Arr. Chris says, I felt pressure during my first confession. I made up a story where I sinned. I know, right? What was I thinking? Look at him waiting. Like, please throw the pizza. Will you throw it for me, please? Okay. You gotta bring it to me, you big goober. There you go. I know. Okay. I am, Emily. Yeah, I am dog sitting. Ugh. This very sweet Muppet of a dog. Do you believe gods are aliens? I don't. No. Yeah, some kind of doodle. Oh. Oh, Charles, I think that meant pumpkins, like literal pumpkins. I know, buddy. Come here. Look. Okay. He's a Muppet-shaped doodle. Yeah, that's your pizza, huh? Well, give it to me. I can't throw it if you don't let go. He is a shaggy fellow. Yes, that's true, KG, but again, that doesn't mean he does exist, and I just don't have any reason to believe he does. I know, you're so fierce. So fierce. Ferocious. What, can I have it? Oh, thank you. Oh, your cat would growl like that? Okay, pizza. Can I have it? No. Hi, Jeff. Hooked on pizza. Okay, can I have it? Let me have it. KG, you know what? Never mind. Aw, Ekta. I definitely agree with you, Emily. If we can't understand God, then our souls shouldn't be judged on believing something we can't understand. He's like a cartoon. Can I have it? Can I have it? Okay, there you go. Oh, good boy. He sat on the couch. I think we tired him out. Yeah, God could make everything clear if he was real. I think he's 3, maybe. Yeah, Ekta says, the doctrine of hell is so childishly vindictive that I couldn't ever associate it with a purportedly good God. Yeah, it is almost cartoonish in its cruelty. Dyslexia says, that's how I felt about algebra. Don't judge me because I couldn't understand it. Who would have made God? Oh, I liked algebra. I didn't like geometry. Geometry made me mad. Oh, well, that answers it. He's the Supreme Lord. End of list. End of discussion. Yeah, I agree. The Old Testament doesn't talk about this idea of hell in the same way at all. Hey, Jim, welcome. What do you mean by ascension? Hi, Ricardo. I just don't see any evidence. Are you back with your pizza? You mean you may throw? Oh, okay. Go get it. Cody, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, but. Okay. Wait, give me that. Yeah, Dante was super into hell. Yes. Pizza must be his favorite food. Can you have it? No. That sounds nice, but we don't have any evidence that that's true. Such a cutie. Okay, cutie pie. Are you ready? Are you gonna drop it? Oh, do you know drop it? Hey, ZC. No, I haven't. Dean says, do you want to believe in God? Dean, I want to know what's true. I want to believe what's real, whatever it is. His name's Chesney. Hey, buddy. Come here. Okay. I have an FAQ playlist that gives you like the whole backstory. Oh, 80%. Okay, let's see. Drop it. Oh, what a good boy. Okay, sir. I should maybe try throwing the pizza further. Okay, drop it. Alpha, don't you dare put ketchup on hot dogs. We don't do that here. Thanks, KG. Have a good night. I know, 80%, like Ruby, my dog doesn't play fetch at all. She's too serious for that. Drop it. That would be bad, Flip. Cody, ancient people knew a lot about the solar system. They used math. What is your standard for truth? Evidence, generally. Different kinds of claims would require different kinds of evidence. Oh. Jeff, basically all of it. Like, have you thought about what the mind is? Yes, I'm a physiologist, so I've thought quite a bit about what it is. Cindy, what? Oh my gosh, a Shih Tzu pit mix. That's amazing, Em. Hey, Laura. Yeah, I'm just dog sitting. That's actually a nice way to put that, Charles. I like that. The mind is what the brain does. Yeah. Yeah, we do have a redundant kidney system. It's interesting. That's a circle. What? Dean, what are you getting at here? Do you need to go outside? You go outside, baby? Yeah, you go. Nope, did not want to go outside. Well, I thought you did. I'm sorry. Did you need me to come? Oh my gosh, you guys. This dude is so cute. Did you need me to come with you? You do. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean, how could you say no to that face? You go outside? No? No, we don't want to go outside? You just want more pizza? Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. Silly puppy. Hi, cutie pie. Okay, good boy. I do some debating on Saturday nights. What, you left your pizza? Okay. All right, friends, I'd better call it a night. We have a lot more pizza to play. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back on TikTok this weekend. Maybe tomorrow night, but definitely Saturday night. So if you're not on TikTok, please come find me over there. And I will see you soon. And I'll be back here on Tuesday. So definitely on Tuesday on YouTube. So have a wonderful night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out and for a good conversation.